Hi there, it's Mark here again, and okay, there's a slightly different theme to today's video, but don't worry, there'll be plenty of RC footage along the way. So today I thought I'd bring you along to one of my favourite RC running places. Don't worry, it's not that, we'll see in a minute, but I guess statistically, like me, you're more than likely to be living in a built-up area, a city or a town, and not in the countryside. So where do you run your off-road RC cars? Well, my garden just isn't big enough, and it's not really a good idea to run those cars on the road, and with all the cars around it's not very safe either. So I can either jump in the car and drive about half an hour to get to the countryside and somewhere safe to run the car there, or I can just pop over to a local park and use that space, and this is one of them. So welcome to Warley Woods, and would you believe, if you go 3 miles in that direction, you'll come to Birmingham city centre. So we're right in the middle of a huge metropolis. As far as you go, there's houses, businesses, shops and whatever for like miles and miles and miles. But this place is just like 2 miles from my house. And this is where I've done so many of my running videos. It's a huge, wide open area with loads of different terrain. It's about 100 acres of space, would you believe, and like I said, there's lots and lots of different types of terrain for running those cars. So let me show you around, and hopefully with the magic of editing I'll be able to drop in a few of those RC running clips along the way. So first of all, we come to this enormous, great big valley. As you can see, it's a nice smooth grass. Well, I say smooth, there are a few lumps and bumps in it. Not too good for some of the smaller cars, but for the fast brushless stuff, this area is ideal. You can really stretch the legs of a fast car here, and as you can see, there's a bit of a bump here. As you come down the valley, you've got that bump, we can get a little bit of air over that, and we can really get them going out on that area, as you'll see in the clip now. No wonder I couldn't control it on that little... Yeah. Oh, shall I bring it in? Yeah. Let's see how fast it did. Just a few more little wheelies, Rob. Oh. It's got some go in it, hasn't it? It has. Whoa. Okay then, so moving on from this beautiful area here, we're going to head up this way, and there's a perimeter path that goes all the way around the side of the park. It's probably a couple of miles all the way around, but what we're going to do now is head up about a quarter of a mile up towards the golf course. So here we are walking up that perimeter path. You can hear the traffic on the road probably, and we start to see some of these fantastic trees. These trees are, most of them are well over 100 years old, been planted in the end of the 19th century. And I checked on the local website, and the stats say that there are over 4,500 trees in this wood, or this wooded area. So you can see here it says no public access, you've got to stay on the perimeter path, but if you know me and my channel, you might know here's the start, the bottom of the golf course. And during COVID, when it wasn't in use, I did actually sneak onto the golf course with a couple of buggies and made a few videos in the bunkers. So we'll have a look, a bit of that footage now. I've adopted a dog. Oh, it's gone though. I've just recognised that part there is where I ran the DF03 Dark Impact. We've got some good jumps over that little bit of terrain there. So now we're actually crossing the golf course itself through the access road, and we're going to go over here and there's a little wildlife area where there are some fantastic rallycross areas. Hopefully you might have seen some more footage from this area before, but I'm going to show you some now. And yeah, this is a lovely little gravel path. It's not very long and it's not very wide, but as you can see, it's kind of perfect for a 1/10 scale car. There's like a boardwalk area there that we've used, and get the cars whizzing out of there, round this corner and sweeping up that little hill there. It's made for some great footage, I can tell you. Like I say, it's not very long, but for a little car, it's just perfect. And I do remember one of my favourite ever videos. I will put a link actually in the description to it. It was my Audi A2 rally car body shell on a TT02S against my friend Rob's Renault 5 Turbo, and we had a great battle here. We used loads of different camera locations. We had cameras on the car. We did chase scenes. We were whizzing around this little corner here, having a right little battle. It was really, really good fun. So I'll definitely show some shots of that. And I also run a couple of buggies around this section as well. Okay, moving on from that, straight round along the little path, and here's another great little spot. You wouldn't think this would be any good for rally cars, and you'd be right, but if you've got a monster truck, you can have a lot of fun going down these little section of steps here, and we've got the birds singing to us as well. So as you can see, not many RCs will be capable of getting up these steps, but hopefully I can throw in some footage now of the legendary Super Clodbuster and the awesome TXT2 Agrios, having a whale of a time zooming up and down these steps and pulling wheelies and rolling over and all sorts. There's my wife just going through the gate, and we'll head down to the left now for some completely different terrain. So this is a really secluded part of the park. Not many people come to this bit. It's kind of hidden right in the middle, and there's some wonderful old trees. I'm not sure what they are. Massive leaves on these, and there's a really interesting one just around this corner. So we've got this crazy paved path, which I think we've run the Congheads down. And here's that interesting tree I was telling you about. I always stop and have a look at this and marvel at the way nature has kind of found a solution. It's grown the limb of the tree round and straight up. Quite amazing. Anyway, yeah, so this is another bit. It's a bit bumpy here, as you can see, but the Congheads love this. And here's another one of those little kind of wooden stepped areas. It looks quite small on this camera, but I remember setting up the GoPros for this and running my Conghead along with Rob's down these steps. Hopefully we can stick a shot of that in now. Okay then, so after that let's move on to a completely different area, and again different running terrain for the cars. And here we are, we're right in the centre of the park now, and we've got these lovely wider gravel paths, and this is perfect for drifting and rally cars. And I've got, if I remember, I think it was my DF01 Lancer Dakar rally car, and I got some great shots of it. I had some great fun running it around this section of the park. And we had some great fun running it down towards the end of this path here and sliding it round this corner and then doing some U-turns again. I think I can throw some of that footage in now. And so here we are at one of my favourite parts of the park, and these three magnificent stones, monoliths I think you could call them. I don't know what they are or what they represent, but they're definitely carved out by hand, I can tell that. But it's a great setting, a great backdrop for the cars whizzing around on this gravel path here. Yeah, we had some great fun with these. We even jumped some cars off the top of these rocks. And yeah, so these have been in a lot of my videos, and if we just look over here you can see my friend from Morsey Rock RC, he christened them the jump stumps. So let's have a look. So yeah, we're losing a bit of light now, but hopefully you can still see. These are the two famous or infamous jump stumps. Obviously two trees went over and they were cut down and taken away, so this is what's left. And we've had a lot of fun jumping our cars over these, me and Rob. But unfortunately, they're kind of eroding away. The rain and the wind kind of worn them away, and now there's too much of the tree stumps itself sticking out, and actually broke one of the ready to run bashers that I was testing not long ago on that stump itself. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I think that's the demise of the jump stumps, but hopefully now we can remember them with a bit of footage. Okay, so we'll always remember them. We've got it on video forever, and we don't normally do this, but again, a good look up and look at these beautiful old trees. They are some amazing. I think these are cedars, and as I said, they're well over 100 years old. Quite incredible. Okay, so that's the stones again. If we just spin round, we look back at that path, and I think it's time to throw in another gratuitous U-turn slide. Okay then, let's move on to the next section. So yeah, another little section here. There's all the pigeons down there at the moment. But yes, we've run, I think my rally car TT02 Subaru, I think we ran down there. So we can throw a bit of that into the mix. And now we'll move on along the solid path. I think this is the only solid path in the park. We don't really use this. And now it's about another quarter of a mile to the next spot. So I'll just fast forward. Birds having a fight, the crows. And there's another lovely shot from the other side of the valley where we started from. So we're really in one of the deepest parts of the woods now, and as you can see, there's a kind of a long pathway that you can run some of the high-speed cars along, which we've done a few times. And there's a lump over here. You might recognise that if you've watched some of the videos. We've got a lot of buggies and so on jumping over that. Great fun, and sliding around. Okay, we've got a lot of leaf litter now on the floor, but this is a real great terrain for a buggy. And as I say, I'm going to show you some of that now. You do have to be careful with the cars around this section though, because this is quite, there's a lot of foot traffic, people walking dogs and so on. So you've just got to be really careful. Bear that in mind if you're running a high powered RC, guys, and you don't want to be running it into anyone. But yeah, keep out of the way, and it's a lot of fun. This is quite interesting. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with these, but we get a lot of these little fairy doors or fairy gates. I'm not actually exactly sure what they're for, but there's tons around. It's quite a cute thing, really, I suppose. Again, lovely shot of those humongous trees. Look at that. And again, down at the bottom of this one is another one of those little fairy doors. As I say, very cool. And now as we're coming out of the main wooded area, it thins out a little bit, and there's some more paths, I don't know if you can see down there. We've used that with some rally cars. I think the MF-01X, we bladdered that down here round these trees, got some nice slides on, and quite a lot of crashes as well.
I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit.
And then down onto this path, which turns into a gravel path in a bit. And I think we ran the Escort Cosworth Turbo rally car down that bit. As you can see, we've come all the way around now. We're at the top of the valley on the other side. We've got a beautiful sunset going on. And here's that gravel path at the other end I was telling you about. Had some lovely shots of the cars coming down from that path up there, around and sliding onto this gravel here, which is great fun indeed. So just up this little track here to the last little spot before we finish. And as I said, we're kind of right at the end of the park now. We're near the road. This is the last little spot, and it's a great place for just basically thrashing around any off-road RC car, really. It's really loose. There's some kind of bumps and jumps. You get a little bit of air. And I think I've done Blockhead Motors Wild one. We had that going down that way. Onto the grass and back through, and basically running around all this part, and also a couple of rally cars. I think I'll see if I can find some old footage of that. And basically we're nearly there now. So there we are. I think we've come complete round circle now, haven't we? That's Lou on the camera. You point down there, Lou. So that's where we came from. That's basically a lap of Warley Woods and all the fantastic places that we use to run the cars and film them and so on. If you've stuck with me this far, I've got to say thank you very much. I know it's probably been a long video, gone on a bit, but I've enjoyed doing it, and Lou and I have had a good walk. It's taken us probably nearly an hour to walk around that, hasn't it, Lou? So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again on the next video. Bye.